Hi, good morning. I can see that some of you here are already. I don't have a lot of time this morning, but this is just going to be another quick question and answer session. Can you hear me? Because Bead Cat, brilliant, you can hear me. Thank you, that's great. So I'll crack on because I don't have a lot of time. So one of the questions that came up a few weeks ago when I asked you, good morning, Joan. One of the questions that I asked you a few weeks ago was, did you want a Q&A session? And I think it was Claire had asked how to draw text and images and shapes that are in the machine and how to fill them with a pattern. So this is just my little test that I did. I did this actually about 2 weeks ago, but I've just not got round to coming on here to do the live stream. So I literally just picked a border pattern, a text pattern, one of the flowers, a couple of the shapes from within the machine, and then I brought in a shape of my own. Now, if you follow my channel, I did a dingbat font video, which will be under the fonts playlist if anybody wants to go back and have a look at it. And I showed you how to make this design into a paper piecing. So I went into Canvas, I removed all the extra bits and just kept the outer layer and brought it onto the machine, and I've drawn it. So you can see here just simple shapes from within the machine. Now on this one I've done them all, but I've filled them all with the patterns that's in the machine. They look similar, but they are different. If you look at the ABC, that's kind of slightly diagonal lines. And then if you look at the Mickey and the other letters, they're going in all different directions. So today I just thought I'd quickly show you how and where to find the fill patterns so that you can do this yourself. So I've just got my old grubby mat with a piece of white paper on it ready, and I'm going to use the universal pen tool and a pen. You can use any pen tool, it doesn't matter which. There's our chicken again, sorry. You can use any pen tool as long as it fits in the ScanNCut machine, it doesn't matter. So whether that's the original one, with just the little pens, or whether you're using the universal pen. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the machine back in, and hopefully you'll be able to see my screen. Just move the mat out of the way. Right, so got my stylus here. So I'm going to go into patterns, and then I'm just going to choose one of the patterns from within the machine. So for a start, we'll just go to the second section, which is like flowers, presents, that kind of thing. And then I'll choose a pattern. So I'll go into the first section and I'll look and see what's in here. Should we try the tree this time? I'll say OK, and I'll just bring both sections onto the mat. So you need to go back and add the second section. And then I think what I might do is go into the editing functions, which is top left. Hoping you can see this. See if I can put this up to bring this nearer. And I'll see if I can group it and resize it. I can't remember how to do it, that's the one. So select everything, OK, and group. And then I'm just going to resize it down. It doesn't really matter, I'm just doing this as a test, and say OK, OK. So I've now got the two parts of the tree on the mat. Not sure how well you're going to be able to see that. I'll try and zoom in. You can see there, I've just put the trunk under the top. And then I'm just going to ungroup them. I don't think it really matters. I'm going to come back to the editing icon, which is the top left hand corner. And I'm going to go into this adjustment icon where you've got the box and the up and horizontal arrow. And this is where you find the fill tool. So it's usually greyed out. So when you select it, it goes purple. And I don't know if you can see, I'll try and bring you in, but instantly, because the trunk of the tree was selected, it's filled that with colour. Now, if I only want that bit filled, that's okay. But if I want both, I have to make sure they both are grouped. So if I click the X to go back and go to the red boxes and choose the right hand red box, because that will select everything that's on the mat, and say OK and group, and then go into the adjusting icons and choose the pen tool, it should fill both. So I don't know if you can see, it has. I'll try and zoom in more for you. Not sure it's going to show you. So I've got them both selected. So I've got one big box around everything. And then I'm going to fill them both in with colour. So now, how do you fill them in? So basically what you've got the option of doing is doing a complete fill, lines or diagonal lines. You've got various options, and to find those you need to go into the wrench icon. So if you click on your wrench icon and go to page 4, I think it's on the bottom of page 4 you'll see it says fill stroke additional line. So this is the one that you need to turn on to be able to now fill your shape or your words or whatever it is you're doing. So you click the wrench and spanner icon, and then I think by default from memory it's the filled in box. So next to it there's another wrench. So you select that, and here are your 5 pattern options, and these are all we have at the moment in the machine. Whether they'll give us the option to be able to add more in at a later date of our own, or whether they'll give us more, I don't know. But these are just the options you've got. So basically you've got a complete fill, which is good for text. That's what gives you the hand stamped kind of finish, like I showed you on, for anybody that's not seen on here. That was a font that I typed in the converter, brought into the machine, and then I used the fill on it. And as you can see, that just looks like it's been stamped. It looks like it's been hand stamped. So that's the one you would use if you were doing text. Then you've got horizontal lines, you've got vertical and horizontal lines, you've got diagonals, and then you've got diagonals with other lines going different ways as well. So what I'll do, does anybody want me to choose a particular one? Just say to me which one you want, and I'll try it and see what happens. So if the first person that pops up with a message, I'll fill this pattern in. The fourth one. Okay, so this one, number 4. All right, so I've chosen that one, which is bottom left, and I'm going to say OK. That's brought that pattern into this section now, so it's sort of saying to me, this is the pattern that you've chose. Yep, OK, that's fine, Courtney. So now I'm going to say OK. I think that was your name. Sorry, it flashes up so quickly. Then I'm going to say OK again. If you can hear background noise, my craft room is part of a big, like, orangery sunroom, and it's very warm here today, so I've got the door open, so that was a train passing if you heard a noise. So now it's shown me that the 2 parts of this design are filled with that pattern. So I'm going to say OK, and there it is on the mat. So I'm going to have to move you back a bit now so that I can load up the mat and the pen tool. So I've just got one of the ordinary felt pens that you've seen me use before. I think these came from Morrison's supermarket. And I have to tape them up because they're too thin to fit in here. And again, I've done a live stream video all on this universal pen tool. So if you don't know how I did this, just go and look on the live playlist. So I'm just going to drop this pen into the holder and lock it into place. put it into the machine. I'm just going to go into the settings and see what I've got. A draw pressure of 2 and a draw speed of 2. So we'll see if that's okay. I'm going to say okay, okay again, and draw. And then I'm going to say go. And hopefully it's going to draw the tree and the stump with that crosshatch pattern. So has anybody got any questions while we're waiting for this? Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see that. I don't want to unload the mat just for a minute. So if you can see now, it's drawn the tree and the stump with that pattern already in it. And it's saying to me now, do I want to select the next part or finish? Well, I've put both parts on together, so I'm just going to say finish. And then I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to try something. I don't know whether this can be done or not. So I'm just going to go into the editing icon and say, just going to see if I can add a seam allowance. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, so that's interesting because I know sometimes you can't add a seam allowance to patterns. So let's say if we wanted to cut that out now, let's try it and see. I've only got very thin paper, so I don't know how well this is going to cut because it literally is kind of copy paper, this. I've just taken my blade down to literally just a smidge past 1. And then I'm going to say okay, okay again. Okay, and I'm going to go to cut and just see if I just get the cut line. Yeah, now it wants to cut both shapes, but because I've overlapped the trunk and the tree, it will literally follow the trunk and the tree. So that's not going to work in this particular case. If I'd have kept the two parts separately, then I'm looking at this, I would think I would be able to cut it. But if I cut this now, it'll cut into the top half of the tree because that's how I've laid it out on the mat. But at least that's interesting. It looks as though it can be done. So we'll try another design. So is there another particular shape or anything that anybody wants me to try? If not, I'll try one of the borders and see if we can cut it out as well. But you know, one of you asked the question, and I'm obviously just trying to do the Q&A to help you out. So I'd rather show something that you want to see. I'm just going to have a quick drink while I'm waiting. If someone can just say if there is anything. If not, I'll try a border. Yeah, I could rescan the tree and cut it. Should we try that? Okay. I was thinking that while I was waiting for it to draw, but I just wanted to try and see if it would let me add the seam allowance on, which I wasn't sure whether it would. So, okay, so we'll hit the home button and then we'll go for scan. And we'll do a direct cut from the machine. And I'm in black and white, so we'll try that and see. If I've just missed any questions, just ask me them again because I'm obviously looking the opposite way from the camera because I'm looking at the machine. But yes, so we'll try this and see what happens, see what it picks up. I'm going to say okay because I'm not sure if it's getting confused with all the crisscross lines, but we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, it's given me the outline. So I'll drag my machine in. Don't know if you can see this. So it has given me the outline. So I'm going to isolate the design because obviously I'm using my cutting mat, and when I've scanned it, it's picked up all this grubby background. And then we'll put an outline on it of 0.04, which I think is about 1 milli. I'll put the blade in. As I say, this is only copy paper, so I'm not sure how this is going to cut. It could end up being a mashed up mess. I'll say okay, and okay, and cut, and we'll see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm just going to lift the paper up and just see if it's cut through. No, it's not cut through, so I'm going to take my blade up a little bit more. Say okay, cut, and go. Okay, this one seems to have cut it, so I'll unload the mat. I don't think it's cut all the way through. Oh yes, it has. It's just caught on a corner. Just ripped it ever so slightly. Now to get it off the mat with it being thin paper, this might be a bit of a challenge. This mat is very sticky, and this is only literally very thin copy paper. So it could end up being ripped, but hopefully it seems to be coming off. Okay, it's a little bit bendy because of the way I've pulled it off the mat. So if I just bring it back into... So it has cut it, so scanning it was another option. So let's put the piece of paper back on the mat and let's try a border. We'll go back to the home button. I'll bring this in, go to patterns. So we'll go to borders. Has anybody got a preference on a border that we can try? I'll just flick through them. This is page 1, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Butterfly. Okay, what page was it on? Do we know? Let's find it. That one? Yeah, butterfly. Okay, that's a good one. So, I'm going to make it a bit smaller. And we'll go back to our wrench icon. And we'll go back to page 4. And we'll go to the fill additional lines section. Right, which pattern do you want, ladies? 1, 2, 3. We don't want 4, we've just done it, haven't we? So 1, 2, 3, or 5. Let's not do 1 because I want to fill text with 1. So let's have 2, 3, or 5. 3, okay, done. So we choose 3, okay. It's showing you a preview of it there. Okay, okay. There's the butterfly on the mat. I'll put the pen tool back in. We'll say okay. Oh, we have to go back, don't we? We have to go into the editing icon, into the resize icon, and switch the fill pen tool on, else you won't get your pattern filled, you'll just get the drawn outline. Okay, 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 draw and go. Move you back a bit so you can see it in full flow. So has anybody got any questions while we're waiting for this? Because I don't have a lot of time today. But I wanted to be able to, you know, hopefully come on and show you. It's very warm here in the UK today. I don't know where you're all watching me from at the moment, but it is extremely warm here today. It's meant to be sunshine and showers, but at the moment, very hot. Cheshire. Oh, right, okay, I'm in High Peak, Derbyshire. Atlanta, wow, 6:21 in the morning. Oh my word. And you're watching me. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see. So it's drawn the butterfly outline. Louisiana, 5 a.m. Oh my God, are you mad? Why are you up at that time of the morning? And now it's filling it in with the pattern. Playing with the ScanNCut and embroidery. Oh well, that's not bad I suppose. North Carolina. It's amazing to think that I'm sat here in the UK and you're all there. If someone's at work, oh no. And you're all in different parts of the world. The internet is amazing, really, isn't it? I know it, you know, has bad things on the internet, but when it does good things, it does good things well. So this one's taking a bit longer because obviously it's a bit more of a detailed drawing. And it's quite methodical how it does it. You know, on this one it's doing all the horizontal lines, and now it's going back and doing all the vertical lines. It's quite fascinating to watch, really. But bear in mind, you can do this with any design. So if you've made a design in canvas, bring it into your machine and you can use the pen tool and fill it. And obviously I'm just using a cheap, like, felt tip pen in a purple colour from Morrison's. But any pen that will fit in your pen holder, especially the universal pen holder, you could do this in, you know, on black card with a white pen, or you could do it in gold, you know, a fine gold liner, anything really. Right, I'm just going to move it back a bit so hopefully you can see it. So it's done the border pattern. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring some text on and show you how you can fill in your text. So I'm going to say finish drawing, okay. I'm going to go back to the home button. Okay to delete all patterns because I don't want to use that again. Now I'm going to go into my save data in the machine, and I should have a file in here full of text. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to say okay, so it comes onto the mat. So I'm going to show you the thank you that I showed you on that card. So that's here. So I'm just going to bring it down here out of the way, and then I'm going to select another word so that that one's not selected. Then I'm going to come into the editing icons and I'm going to come to the red boxes. And this time I'm going to choose the first red box, which means it lets me choose the designs on the mat that I want to, that I'm going to get rid of. And the reason I clicked off the word I want is because if that was selected, that would be the one that would be deleted in a few minutes when I hit delete. So I've just selected any other word. I'm going to drag the handles up so that this word that I've placed at the bottom is the word I want to keep, and everything else is within the red bounding box, and that's what I want to delete. So I'm going to say okay, okay, and put it in the rubbish bin and delete it. Now that's not deleted all those words from those files if you knew. I know I say this probably most times, but You know, I think I get new viewers all the time, so it's basically just deleted them from this session. They are all still saved in my machine. Here's my word that I want to use now. I'm going to say OK, and I'm just going to do a quick background scan so I can position it on this piece of paper so it doesn't go over the butterflies. So has anybody got any questions? Okay, so I can see the piece of paper, so I'm just going to position it under the butterflies. And now I'm going to ask it to draw that word. I'm going to leave it at the size it is for now and just draw it. And then I'm going to draw it again. Sydney, Australia, 8:25 at night. Wow. So I'm going to draw it as it is now, as an outline, so you can see it. And then I'm going to redraw it and fill it. Okay? So I'm going to say, OK, draw, and go. So it's just going to work its way through and it's just going to draw the thank you for me, as it would be. And you'll see when it's drawn, there'll be a gap in the middle of the two lines. Because obviously, the machine doesn't technically know whether it's got a pen or a blade in it. I mean, it does because it knows you're telling it to draw or cut, but it will always follow an outline of a shape. So if you look at a font, it has an outline and then an inner line, and the space in between the two is what gives you the gap. Just bought the ScanNCut 700 and you know nothing about it. Well, my channel has got lots of videos. They're all in playlists, so if you click on the playlist button on my YouTube channel, where you are now, they're playlisted for you. So if it's something specifically on the machine you want to know, go to the machine playlist. Brisbane, Australia, fantastic. If it's something about the online software, ScanNCut Canvas that Brother have given us for free, go to the Canvas playlist. I think there might be a beginners as well playlist. There's a font playlist if you want to know anything about fonts and using dingbats, which are like small pictures that are classed as fonts. There's a font playlist. This is live, yes. Elaine, yes, this is live at the moment. It will go up on my channel and stay there as a recording. So if you've missed any, don't worry, because we've been on about 28 minutes now. Okay, right, so I'm just going to unload this and show you this as a bit closer. So if you can see, I've drawn the word thank you, and you can see there's a white gap in between the two lines of the font. So now I'm going to draw it again, but I'm going to this time ask the machine to fill it in. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say OK. I'm going to come back to the words and I'm just going to drag it over to find another space on the mat here, and hopefully it should be in the right place. In fact, we'll do another quick background scan. Just while we're waiting for that, not sure how well you'll see this, but this is a word that's in your machine, and I got the machine to draw it and fill it in, and look how good that is. Right, so yeah, I was off the page, so it's a good job I did a background scan. So this time I'm going to ask it to draw it and fill it. So we need to go into the editing icons. In fact, no, we'll go back. We'll go to the wrench. We'll go back to page 4. Go to the fill option. Click on the wrench by the pattern. We'll tell the machine we want the solid fill and say OK, OK, OK. Then we'll go into the editing icons, into the adjustment icons, and put the fill on and say OK, OK, OK again, and draw and go. So we'll just wait for this now. So is there anything else you want me to show you after I've shown you this? We've been online about 30 minutes now, and to be fair, I do have to go in about 5 minutes. This can be done on any model ScanNCut machine. Just make sure your software for your machine is up to date. If you don't know how to do that, go to my blog, and there's a link from my YouTube channel to my blog. There's a ScanNCut page, and there's links directly to where you go and get the update for your machine. You just go to the part of the world you're in and follow the links all the way through. Find the ScanNCut machine, choose your model, and don't worry if you've missed any previous machine updates. The latest machine update incorporates all previous ones. So providing your machine's up to date, you'll have these functions. Chris Wilson, yeah, thank you, you're welcome. Usually, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get a notification when I'm going live or when I post a video. So for the person that's just asked, they're not sure how they found this, as long as you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will get notifications. Don't worry if you miss the live streams, because they always stay up on my channel anyway, so you can watch them afterwards. You can always post a comment under the video once it is up as a record, and I'll answer your question. Okay, so this one's finished now. Courtney, you're welcome. Just going to unload it, and then I'm going to hold it up to the screen, and hopefully you should be able to see. Okay, so here's the first one, just written with all the gaps in it, and here's the second one. Oh yeah, great. Thanks for reminding. Make sure you've got the bell notification icon turned on. That way you get the notifications. Thanks for that. Forgot. And here it is again, all filled in. And look how beautiful that is. That just doesn't look as though it's been drawn, does it, with an electronic cutting machine? That looks like you've stamped that with a rubber stamp and ink. And if you look at it compared to how it's not filled in. Now, you know, you may like it like this, but we've now got the option to do it like this. Sometimes as well, when you write something, I would always test it first, because if you make it smaller, sometimes the lines do close up, but the machine will always follow both sets of lines. So no matter how small you make it, you might still sometimes see an odd little white spot like you've got here. So always, whatever you're going to write, set it to the size you want it, put a piece of scrap paper in it and just draw it first and see how it's going to look. If you're happy with how it looks, fine. If not, put the fill on your machine and do it this way. So is there anything else you want me to show you quickly before I have to go? Oh, brilliant, Chris. I'm glad you liked it. Elaine, thank you. You've been so helpful. Oh, you love my YouTube channel. Thank you. Okay, so I think we've probably got most of it covered that I wanted to show you. Thank you for being here. I know they're a bit random, the live streams, but basically, as I've said before, I do work. I don't work every day. I work kind of different hours, different days. I'm self-employed, so I can kind of choose when I want to work, which is nice. But I tend to do the live streams. Mary, you're welcome. I tend to do the live streams when I'm in the house on my own and it's quiet. And that tends to be a Tuesday. And I normally try to do them on a Tuesday morning, but this particular Tuesday I was busy. Tuesday coming is the holidays. So I'm busy with my daughter. She's golfing most of the week. So I'm driving her around and following her around a golf course. So as I happen to have the house quiet for a short while this morning, I just thought I'd come on and do this for you. I do have to go to work actually now in about the next half an hour. So that's why I am just mindful of the time. But that's just a little bit of an explanation. So are there any quick questions before I go? But if not, I have been on 35 minutes now, so I will let the video go up and stay up as a recording. It does sometimes take a little while once it's been live to going on as a record, but it will be there for you to watch back later. So I'd just like to say thank you to you all for being here, and thank you, for your thumbs up and your support on my channel. And there are more questions and answers still to come. I'm just working my way through my list and trying to combine sessions, so there will be another one. I can't remember what the next one will be on, but I do still have outstanding questions from when I asked you about the Q&A session weeks ago. So anyway, if that's helped you all and there are no further questions, I'm going to say goodbye now, and hopefully see you in my next video. There should be a YouTube video going up on Tuesday anyway, even though I'm not doing a live stream. I have recorded some. Can't remember what it is. It might be a stash buster project, but there will be something going up on my channel on Tuesday anyway. So thanks a lot, and I suppose I should say good night to all the people that are over in Australia, and have a great day for all the people that are watching me at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning in the US. So I'll see you all soon, and thanks for being here. Thank you.